Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and we are syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you so much for watching. We're kind of doing a little recap on the garden. You know, this show's about everything. We do politics. We also do, local events. We do national events, world events. And we also talk about the garden, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. So, I actually started the hydroponics garden, and this has been a really fun thing for me to do, and I've learned a lot of what to do and what not to do. So what I'm going to do is take my camera, and we're going to walk around and let you see a few things, okay? And let's see what you think, because I have really had a blast doing this. I hope I'm not shaking it too much. So here we go. Wanted to show you, and I'm going to look on my end as well. This is the hydroponics, and as you can see, there is the lettuce. And I think what I have learned about the lettuce is see, this is a sliding glass door right here. So this to me seems like the best place to put it. But what I've noticed is I think it's in direct sun too much. That's why I see a lot of these things started in a basement. See how some of my lettuce is kind of wilting there? It's too much sun. It's just too much of the good stuff. So I've had the sun, and I've also had the lamps going on at the same time. So what I'm going to be doing is moving it over in another section right here. We're in my dining room. We do everything but eat in here. So it's wound up, as you can see from my table. I'll show you in just a minute. So what I have also done, I noticed this. So take a look at the lettuce on the bottom. See, this is not touching the sun. The sun is not heating that up. And it just looks healthier. It just looks so much better. I think you can probably see it better that way. There you go. See how much better that lettuce looks, which is not like right in the heat of the sliding glass window, and then what it's doing up here. So what I'm going to be doing, I'll be taking this out as soon as I finish with the show. I'm taking this lettuce out. I'm going to replant. But I did want to show you, this is an absolutely awesome way to grow lettuce. Look at that. The roots are incredible with this hydroponic system. But again, there are things you just have to kind of learn. And then that's what we're doing. We're in this together, right? Okay, so I started some sunflower seeds in here, and you can see how I just wanted to try a couple just to see if it would work, and it does. And this is the Ruby Eclipse sunflower. I'll be planting some Russian, some roundabouts, and also some Colorados. And again, more lettuce coming up. We eat a lot of salads, can you tell? Okay, now I have found a way that actually works better. Let's go ahead and put this back on the computer. I'm sorry you're having to look at the ceiling, and yes, I'm one of the few people who still loves popcorn ceiling. I think it looks awesome. So let's go on ahead and move the camera down. I want you to be able to see really, really good on the table. Okay? All right. Lift them up just a little bit, but not much. Should have tried this before we started the show. But anyway, here we go. Now this has been my little experiment right here. Let's put it down a little bit more. So I want you to get a good view. Okay, here we go. Because there's a lot to learn here, okay? And my learning has been definitely from trial and error. But I'll have to tell you, I started beans, and I started the sunflowers. We talked about that. I started the sunflowers in the hydroponic system. Now, there are different things you can buy. You can get this right here, by the way, on eBay and on Amazon. Now, look at Amazon, it has the best price. And I've got the link located right up in the corner right there. If you'll check that link and get on and just search for some of these items I'm going to be talking about today, you're actually helping the radio station and my show, and I definitely do appreciate that. If you'll order by using anything you're looking for, whether it's gardening or whatever, if you'll use that particular link right there, it's going to help us out just a bit. I definitely appreciate that. Now, what comes in this package right here is, and by the way, this is Miracle-Gro, so you also get liquid fertilizer. Right here, you'll need that. you get these little pods, and these pods are awesome. I like them actually better than what comes with the hydroponics system. And what I like about it is it's long and it goes down into the water a little bit better. So I actually like these pods better. And then it also comes with these little cups, which are pretty cool too. All right, so this is what I have learned. And this is just, I'm going to be putting these into pots. Okay, so I'm going to actually make 2 shows out of this. It'll be 30 minutes. So we can kind of learn how to do this together. So I was really amazed. The beans, I've had like, and I'll tell you this, out of when you're using the hydroponic system, only 1 bean out of 10 is going to come up. But I'm going to tell you what, I think I know why. The beans will actually hog the system. So this is 1 bean. Now this one is the lima bean. And take a look. The bean actually started again out of the hydroponic system. That's beautiful. This thing already has blooms on it. And so this one made it right here. And this is also a lima bean. Again, it got its start from the hydroponic system. And I think that turned out really good. And then I have the grandpa right here. I call him the grandpa of them all. So this one just won't stop growing. And again, it got its start in hydroponics. I've got to hurry up and get this in the ground just as soon as I can. Probably in a couple of weeks, we'll go ahead and put these things down into the ground, into the garden. And I wanted to show you one thing I have really learned by taking the Master Gardener's class. And by the way, I urge you to take this class. I have learned so much. See this tomato plant? One thing I have learned, well, I've learned a lot, but this is really crucial here. Any kind of a plant, you're not pruning a tree just in fall or just in the early spring or of the year. You're pruning continuously, and what this does is promote growth. So this tomato plant started from a seed in the hydroponic system, and I have, oh gosh, I think there are like 50-something plants. I didn't think they would all come up, but they did. And so take a look at that. It's so healthy. And I'm just telling you, the roots on these things are huge. So let me tell you what I'm talking about when you're constantly pruning a plant. I've just about pruned all of them. I can show you with this one right here. Okay, so this is one of my tomato plants. Okay, and I'm keeping it in the house. I have some out there in the greenhouse as well. So this thing is, I mean, look at that. Started from a little seed. So when I'm talking about constantly pruning, you want to take a leaf and just cut it off. What you're looking for is this thing to grow almost like a tree. And the reason you are doing this, and by the way, it's going to go in the compost pile, so I'll put that in this little bucket. So what you're doing is you're promoting, and you know it's a healthy plant when the stem, so you got your root system first, and you got your stem, and so you can see the health of a plant. The true health of the plant is by the leaves. Now the leaves are going to be tattletales. And what I mean by that, the leaves are going to tell you what they need. So if they turn a little bit yellow, if you've got some yellowing on those, and look at the leaves that keep coming out. Isn't it beautiful? So if it turns a little bit yellow, you know that you're going to need phosphorus, or you're going to need, there's a number of things that these leaves are going to talk to you and tell you that they need. Now, in about another week or so before I get this thing planted in the ground, what I'm going to do is take this one off right here to the side. And the reason we're doing this, we want this to have a good structure, a good root structure. So when I put this into the ground, what I'll do is lay it down on the ground, kind of like that. And all of this you see right here on the stem is actually going to be the root system. And then again, you're constantly, this thing's going to shoot out leaves all the time. You've got to have a barrier. You've got to have air flowing for those tomatoes to be those great old big juicy, awesome tasting tomatoes and big ones. And to have big ones, you've got to have a good strong root system. This is going to create a good strong root system. There was a time I would just buy something from Lowe's or whatever and just plant it like it was. No, you've got to get rid of the root. You just need to use one little leaf is all it's going to be when I put this into the concrete blocks. We've talked about that, the concrete block system, and that definitely works. Okay, let's go ahead and put this over here to the side. So now you get the gist of that. Oh, and by the way, I didn't show you, man. I got to show you before we leave the show today. Cutting off the bottom of cactus. This is what you can get out of cutting off the bottom of a cactus. And what you do is put it in water. The crucial thing about this is you have to change the water. You've got to change it every couple of days or so. It gets this funky looking stuff on the bottom of it, and you want that off. And so I had one cabbage, and so what's come out of that one cabbage is actually 4 plants. And they're really good. I've already made slaw out of some of these plants. Let's see. Yeah, the rest of this stuff is beans and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll tell you what I've done. Sunflower seeds. Oh man, I love sunflowers. They're among my favorite flowers. So what I did, and I'm going to show you a little bit later in the show how to do this. Take a look at this. I'll put it in this so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see a little bit better if it's on the tray. Look at that. These are going to be some awesome looking sunflower plants. So what we're going to do is put these in some pots today, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Then I'm going to use, all I did, a paper towel. I put some seeds, just a couple inches apart. Wouldn't hurt to put them all together, but I just put mine just a few inches apart. Then I have a water bottle, okay? Just anything that's got a little spritz. If you're using like an old, see, I repurpose everything. So if you're using like an old Windex bottle or something like that, you need to make sure you clean that out really well, because you don't want any of that residue getting on your stuff either. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm talking a drop, just a drop of Miracle-Gro in it. A drop. And what I like about, and by the way, you can get this on Amazon.com as well. And I really do like this. It's a liquid fertilizer. And if you're using fertilizer in a hydroponics, it needs to be a liquid type. Don't use anything granules, because what can happen is it can get into the system and it'll clog up the pump. And then you've got a torn up pump. You got to go buy another one. They're not that expensive to replace. It's just that, this thing should last a good long while. So here we go. I'm going to put a drop, and this is about 2 ounces of water, and that's about all you're going to need. All right, come out. I don't want too much of it to come out at the same time is what my deal is. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's go on ahead and let's just put some in here, and then that way I'm not going to mess it up. Okay. There we go. That's what I needed. I like it. That's what I like about this. Now, some people will take this part out. Don't do that, because if you put too much, you're going to kill your plants. You can over fertilize just like you can, and it actually is worse for the plant than if you didn't at all. So let's go ahead and pour this water in there, because it does not have any of the Miracle-Gro. Okay, so I'll pour this in here. And I love Miracle-Gro. And again, you can get this on Amazon.com, and really good prices. Oh, and let me tell you something about Amazon. When you are shopping at Amazon, what you can do is go with lowest price to search, because there are other companies who are selling stuff on Amazon. So if you'll go with the lowest price, you're going to get the much better deal. Okay, folks, it looks like I've got to go into a commercial break. I'll be right back in just a minute, so y'all hang in there, okay?
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, guys, we are back. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio. I have to stand up when I'm showing you how to do things. I'm sorry about that. Just wanted to show my face for just a minute. We are your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And I'll tell you what, I really do enjoy these sessions with you, and I have so much fun talking about gardening. And it's a learning process for me. And I have to tell you what my granddad said and my grandmother. They said, you know something, you're never going to know it all when it comes to gardening. There are so many things to learn, but I do encourage you in your area to find a Master Gardener's class. I love it. I mean, this is the most fun I've had taking. I've never had classes this much fun. So it's really a good thing to do. So we're talking about sprouts, bean sprouts, and that kind of thing. And so we did have some sunflower seeds. So let me show you what I've got. Okay, and I did let you take a little peek. Now it's really important, okay, because I have 4 different varieties of sunflowers. So it's really important that you use a marker, okay, to remember which variety it is, because they kind of look the same. Okay, now I have it out of the napkin and use, I like to use just plain white. It probably wouldn't hurt to use something with color. I just think it's, I don't know, to me it's a good thing to do. So what you want to do, now these things are about 2 weeks old, okay, or maybe a little bit under 2 weeks. And you can already see the roots these things are putting on there. So these are going to be really big. The bees are going to love this. You know, we're beekeepers. They're going to be in heaven when I get these things planted outside. Okay, now this one is the Mammoth Russian. And this one, you know, this one right here was growing really well. The Sunflower Russian. But take a look at this one. So I actually have 2 Mammoth Russians, and you can see now when I transport these things, see there are roots all over the back side of this. So I'm not going to attempt, because this is biodegradable anyway. So when I separate these and I put them in pots, what I'm going to do, see, just like I'm doing right here, I don't want to upset my roots. I want to keep them intact as much as possible. Be very careful with these roots, okay? So here we go. I'm going to put, it's not going to hurt a thing. I'm going to put the paper towel and all in this, okay? All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I have, let's do it with, let's see, what am I going to do it with? I think this will work out great. So I'm going to put this over here to the side. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my little sticker here. Remember, it's the mammoth, okay? I don't know if this is going to, the roots are getting so big, I might need to think about something else. I think it'll work. Okay, so here we go. I'm taking these out of the paper towels. Be very gentle, okay? Oh, be so gentle with these things. Okay, the roots are going to love you right back, I promise. Okay, and I like to use Miracle Grow too, by the way. I'm going to step right here and grab this. You can also get this on Amazon, okay? And search for the lowest price. And also there are situations, like the more you buy, the cheaper it winds up being. And what I mean by that is the shipping cost. I know I should be using gloves, but I have to use my hands. So here we go. I'm going to put that in there. Now don't press hard, but you want to press some, okay? Now, my water right here that you know that we put just a little bit of Miracle Grow in it, even though the dirt does have Miracle Grow as well. Okay, now I'm going to show you, make sure I don't run out of time, because what I want to do also is show you what I'm going to do with these beans. And we're going to use the same process. Okay, let's be really gentle, very, very careful with these things because they're only going to be as healthy as the root system. All right, here we go. Let's put this little fella. I'm going to put the bean and all in there. The seed, the whole works. Okay, here we go. I'm putting him down here into the dirt. And let's put just a little bit more of this dirt. Now, I have to tell you what I like about these. These are biodegradable as well. So what I'm going to do when I plant these into the garden, I'm just going to break this off and I'll just put the whole thing down in there. And that's going to serve as compost as well. You get these also on the Amazon. Go ahead and check it out. Encourage you to try that. Okay. There we go. All right, let's do a couple more because I want to get these things planted. Okay, now here is one. I don't know if you can see. Okay, he's being a little stubborn. So what I'm going to do is go under and I don't want to break the tissue. I don't want to break the paper towel because I can show you right here. Look at all that root. Now if I just yanked, see it's all on the underside right there. So if I just yank this root out, what's going to happen is it's going to break off all of the roots, and I can't have that happen. So here we go. Let's go ahead and put some more down right here. We'll put him in. Let's cover the roots. Every root is important, okay? Again, this is the biggest structure. Everything is important. So you got to have good roots, you got to have good stems, you got to have good leaves. All of those things are extremely important. Let's put a little more water in there. And I've got a feeling just less than a week I'm going to be putting these into bigger pots. I will have to. Okay, boy, these things did show out, didn't they? They're growing so well. Really, really happy with the way this is turning out. Okay, we'll just do this one more. And then I'd like to show you what the other sunflowers look like as well. So let's go ahead and just put this down. And this is going to be a divider for me, so I'll put that right there. And we're keeping everything moist, okay? So let me go on ahead and I'm going to spritz it right there. It's a spritzer. Okay, now let's move these over here to the side because I'm going to show you how I actually got these things to sprout in the first place. Let's move the dirt out of the way. Some people actually use, and I've heard of this, some people actually use their dining room to eat out of. I use it for plants and crafts and what have you. Okay, let's get some things out of the way. Let's do this. Okay, now it starts out, and everybody knows I try to save a buck every chance I can get. But the whole thing to this actually starts out with you having some good, strong paper towels. Can't use the flimsy ones with this. I mean, you can, but it's just not going to be the same. Okay, now these sunflowers, I noticed the Russian ones came on a little bit better. These are the Ruby Eclipse. And you can see, even though they were planted at the exact same time, the roots on these haven't grown as quickly. So I'm thinking I probably don't need to put these in yet. So let's just go ahead and leave them over to the side. Keeping my label so I know which one is what. Okay. Move this out of the way. And then this one is going to be the Magic Roundabout. I think these did pretty good. Right now, the Russians are going to be winning, okay? Here we go. Yeah, they did pretty good. Okay, so you can see some pretty decent roots. I don't know if you can tell or not, but some really decent roots came out of this as well. Okay. All right, that's my Magic Roundabouts. Let's move them out of the way. Here's the Colorado. Let's see how the Colorado did. That's amazing. All right. Again, they did pretty decent. Here's one that's kind of spiraling. Now, this one, so this is what happens with the sunflower. That little shell right there kind of breaks apart, and then that's where your plant comes from. Now, one thing I did, on my label, there were 3 of these, okay? So, however many, whatever variety you have, whatever you plant, always put the number of seeds you put in there. It just kind of helps you keep up with everything in the progress and how it's working. I think I'll be able to go ahead and plant these as well. All right, I'm going to keep my label. Remember, that's very, very important. Got to have that label going on there. Now, what I'm going to do, we're going to have a part 2 to the show coming up in just a few minutes. And I am going to show you, we'll just go ahead and start. And I'm going to show you how I started with my seeds. Okay, don't be shy. Again, you need to get the good paper towels. I found these on Amazon. They were running a good deal. It was like $10 off for several rows. Now, I bought a lot of rows because I use a lot of paper towels. I'm going to get about 4 sheets. Okay, because I want a good, strong foundation for my seeds. The first ones I'm going to work on, I'm going to do some beans. Let's see, which beans do I want to do? Let's go on ahead and do the pinto beans, okay? So this is the way I'm going to do it. Let's go ahead and get some of the beans out. And by the way, make sure they do not get wet. These things have been in the freezer. So make sure they don't get wet, because if they do, they're going to start sprouting, and then they're not going to come up because you've left them in this little bag right here. So do not get them wet until you intend to use them. Okay, I'm going to go on ahead, and there's a little part right here to the bean. Right here, there's a little white speck, if you can see that. I'm going to take that off. I usually do it with a paring knife, but I didn't bring it in here. So let's go ahead and take him off. And then what we're going to see, he's off. I'm going to put him down so we know we've got him off. Let's move these over here to the side. And let's go ahead and spritz that bean. When you take that little shell off, now it's going to go through a process. Have you ever made dried beans? So what we're going to do is we just want to keep them damp. And I'm going to have lots and lots and lots of water on this. I'll have some saran wrap, And what I'll do is put that under here, and then we're going to fold these things over. Well, guess what? Just a minute left in this segment, so let me say bye to you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio. We're talking about gardening right now. I appreciate your watching. I know you could be doing anything else, but you're watching us right now. We definitely appreciate that. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. And you know, we're syndicated worldwide. You can find us on Abundant TV, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, thank you so much for watching. We're going to have part 2 coming up in just a few minutes, so you hang in there. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and we are syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. So good to be with you today. This is part 2 of working with a hydroponics garden. I am loving it. This is my first year of it. I've learned a lot of things. I've learned things what to do and what not to do, specifically what not to do. Some of those things have been, first of all, you can do fantastic with your, if you want to start out seedlings, let's say with tomatoes, cucumbers, and stuff like that. But now when you get into a much bigger seed, doesn't do as well, and this is why. It clogs up the system. The roots get so big. And so what I've had to do, some of my lettuces kind of started wilting just a bit because there was too much root and all the water wasn't flowing through the hydroponic system. So that's what happened there. So I'm going to give you some tidbits on what to do and what not to do. So let's go ahead and move the camera down so you can see what I'm working with. And let's put it down kind of like that right there. Can you see the table? Think you can? There we go. Maybe a little bit too much, but let's go ahead and get started right there. Okay, so before we went into the break, we were talking about how the sunflower seeds came up. And what I'm in the process of doing right now is putting these, because the roots are getting pretty big. And so what I did is I just got the seed and I put it in a paper towel, and then I kept watering it. And then I filled it full with, and I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. You've got to have a piece of plastic, saran wrap, or whatever you have on. Now, if you don't have saran wrap, you can always use the leftover bags from your shopping bags, as long as it's something plastic. So let's go ahead and straighten this thing out so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, as much as I've never been able to break a straight line with saran wrap. Never. Okay, so let's go on ahead. We've started one, and then we had to go ahead and go into a commercial break. So let's go on ahead and put these beans over here to the side. All right, straighten this out right here because I want lots of saran wrap. And again, if you're out of the wrap, you can just use no plastic bag that comes from your shopping, okay? All right, now, this is the first thing we want to do with the beans. And I did get my paring knife. This is my favorite one. I use this a lot when I'm cutting the little part off of the bean. Okay, and it's going to shrivel up just a little bit. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So right there in your bean, there's this little white part. I'm going to use this knife. This is my favorite. I used the scissors on the first one. It took forever to do it. So I went back there on part 2. And went on ahead and got the knife. And so there's another bean right there with this little part out. So what's going to happen, now you can scrape it, you can use sandpaper, whatever you want to do, but I just found this works better for me. So what I've been told is always prepare your seeds. And if you wanted to plant, say, 10 plants of beans, you need to do 20 seeds. But yeah, this is what's happening. Every time I do it this way, I always wind up more than I need. So what I'll wind up doing is giving some of these plants away. And we'll do some little giveaways. If you'd like to be part of the giveaway on some of the plants that come out of this, all you have to do is send an email my way to let me know you're interested. Donna@icradio.media is going to be the best way to do it. Donna@icradio.media. If you want me to ship it now, you're going to have to pay extra for shipping. I can't pay the shipping and give you the plant at the same time. But then again, this is such a fun venture. You know, the supply chain, we don't know what world's going on with the government. I mean, who knows? You need to learn how to plant seeds. You know, to me, seeds, now gold is valuable, so is silver. To me, a seed is more valuable. Here's the way I look at it. Maybe because I don't have much gold, I don't know. But here's the way I look at it. So if I have to buy a loaf of bread and it's, let's say the supply chain is down, there is no bread. Well, guess what? Supply versus demand. That means that your shop owner is going to have to charge more for that loaf of bread. If I have no money that works, I'm going to have to sell my gold. Do you know you can't chew off a part of that gold? Can't chip it off. You just have to kind of figure it out. So what you're going to wind up doing is paying a heck of a lot more for that loaf of bread than you would be. Just have seeds. I know you can't do wheat, but I'll tell you something you can do. If you find bread on sale, if you've got room in your freezer, it'll keep for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, that's what I do anyway. We don't eat that much loaf bread, but do eat a lot of sandwiches. So what I'll do is just keep the loaf bread in the freezer. And then as we're going to make a sandwich, I'll just go ahead and take a couple of pieces out per sandwich and we're done with it. That way I don't have to worry about mold or anything like that. Okay, I have just 2 more to go. I hope I'm not boring you to death. So let's go ahead and get the last one done. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I want to get rid of these little pieces. I don't think it could cause a problem, but never know. All right, so let's go ahead and spread these seeds out. Now, what you have to think about is the long term. Now, what's going to happen, see, I did not spread these out enough. So what happened is they were sprouting, then they're kind of like taking over, and I don't know, I'm afraid I'm going to mess up some of the root system, and I most certainly don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and spread them out. I've got the plastic on the bottom, which is where it's got to be. Let's go ahead and put some seeds out. Let's see about how many of these. I didn't even count them. I just put a bunch of them out here. These, again, are going to be the pinto beans. Oh, and before we forget, I found these at the $5 store on 25-cent day. I think it was like 500 of them to a pack, so I've got enough of these to last forever. I like to put pinto beans. I also like to put the date on it. So today's date just happens to be a fun one. I'm taping this on April Fool's Day, so that's 4/1/2023. Okay, so I'm going to remember that, okay? Or I won't remember it. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I got wife, we got kids, we got grandkids, we got all this stuff going on. It's hard to remember everything. Now I'm going to be keeping a close watch on these. So what I have done, I have a little spray bottle. You don't want to soak this, okay, because I have found that out. If you soak it, what's going to happen is it's going to be too much water and it's going to kind of like drown your little beans. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I think let's put that down there. I think it's just a little bit too close. Those two are getting a little bit cozy with each other, aren't they? All right, let's go ahead and put this right here. All right, now, so my water consists of 2 things, and that's it, okay? Right here, you got to have a spray bottle. And so I put, for this right here is going to be about 8 ounces. So for 8 ounces of water, I'm putting just a couple drops of Miracle-Gro. Now I want you to check, I've got the link up there for Amazon. I hope you can see it. I may have to kind of move the camera just a little bit so you can. So anyway, I've got just a couple of drops in about 8 ounces of water. Don't over-fertilize. If you over-fertilize, it's absolutely worse than if you under-fertilize. Okay. Every day, I'm going to spritz these beans. Now, I tried doing this in the hydroponics. I mentioned that on the last segment. In case you weren't here and you didn't see the first segment of this, what happens is these things are going to grow huge roots like these beans. And while they are grand, they are fantastic. This is the problem with them growing such big roots, is it clogs up the system for the others that are trying to make it. So out of 10 seeds, I wound up with one plant. Now, is it a beautiful plant? Yes, and it already has some little buds on it. It's already wanting to sprout beans out here. So, and I water these every day. I've got them in a tray. They are watered every day. Now, don't drown them when you're watering them. Okay, now also, I would like to go on ahead and spritz the rest of this paper towel, okay? I don't want any dryness on it. So I went and I'm going to spritz the beans again, okay? And again, right here, I'm going to spritz the entire paper towel. There we go. Okay. Now let's cover these gently, okay? There we go. More spritz, more water. Now, when you're watering these every day, you don't have to spritz this much water anymore. Just enough to dampen it. Again, you don't want water dripping on it, okay? Here we go. There we go. Got a bunch of beans right there. I'm waiting anxiously for these things to come up. Let's go ahead and again make sure that that outside is spritzed as well. So I'm watering it several times. I'm doing it lightly. I don't want to drown them, okay? All right, so let's go on ahead. What I like to do is go on ahead and cover like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my label in here. So I'm going to remember pinto beans, and I did this on April Fool's Day. And let's go on ahead and move it over this way and then this way. Okay, now when these things start sprouting, you know what I mean? Okay, let's go ahead and move these over to the side. So let's place those here. Okay, now I think I'd like to go on ahead and show you a little tip. Okay, so these are those little K-cups right here. And I found that these fit perfectly in the hydroponics system because they're about 1-inch holes that are in there. And also what I did is I took the coffee out. I found these at the $5 store. I think they were like 40. That's right. There were 40 of the little K-cups. And I'm thinking, well, I don't have the machine for it. So what I'm going to do, because I'm thinking these are just the perfect size, and I'm not going to have to buy any more cups because I'm continuously washing them. And so what I'm going to do is put a little hole down here at the bottom, and then I'll have, you can't use dirt now in the hydroponics. It has to be something kind of like a sponge or something like that that you're going to use, and something kind of like that. So what I'll do is I'll put my seed in here. Could be my lettuce, and I'll go ahead and put this in there. That's got to be soaking wet, okay? I'm going to make sure that this is gone from the bottom, and then that way, see, all the water can come up to the bottom, and you're going to have some nice, healthy roots right there. You're going to have so much lettuce, you're not going to know what to do with it. Now, the thing about the hydroponics system, hydroponics is fantastic because one of the many reasons it's so fantastic is that it is going to give you a good, healthy root system. It's going to be lots of water in it. But anyway, this is just a little way that you can save some extra money. So I'm going to put this over to the side. Okay, now I want to show you something else. This is a pod system. I've got to keep up with what time it is. I've got to go into a break in just a minute. They are little pods that you can use as well. Now I was talking about the AeroGarden Miracle-Gro. Now this is a cascading kit. Now this is petunias, cascading petunia box right here. You can get that on Amazon.com. If you can see the link up there. I may have to change the color so you can. But anyway, this is something you can buy as well. And it comes with this bottle right here of AeroGarden. It's for seed starting, vegetative growth, flowering, and fruiting. And it's by Miracle-Gro. Now don't overdo it, okay? Because again, if you put way too much of this stuff, well then, you know, it's going to cause an issue with your plants. Again, too much fertilizing, too much water, too much, not enough of this is going to cause some issues. Okay, but I love these little pods. And so what you do is immerse this in water. So I can put it in there. And this thing is going to swell up. And it's going to be about 3 times the size it is, whatever pod you get. Okay, and that's just another good deal you can get at Amazon.com. Okay, oh, we got to go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a minute, so y'all hang in there, okay? Hold on.
The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Okay, folks, we are back. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. And you can also find us on syndicated Abundance TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, thank you so much for watching. You can use the link above. See that right there? Right there. And you can find some of these awesome products. If you'll use that particular link when you are ordering anything from Amazon, it helps our TV station and also the TV show. We definitely appreciate you do that. And lets Amazon know how many people are watching. So I appreciate that. Okay, asthma won't act up, so let's go on ahead and drink a little bit of water. Good stuff right there. Okay, so we've been talking about gardening, the hydroponics garden, and how that works, what not to do. I could definitely write a book in life on what you don't need to do, but I've had a lot of fun with this. I've had a lot of successes. Some things I found you can't do. Beans, if you only do one bean, you'll probably have a success, but if you put 10 of them in there, those roots are just going to go, they're going to fight is what they're going to do. They're going to fight over that water flowing through the hydroponic system. So, found another solution. So, and we're going to be sprouting beans. But next thing I'm going to do, and I tried peanuts in there. That didn't work out either because they were fighting with each other. Some things just fight when they get into the hydroponic system. And also, if they're fighting with each other and enough water is not coming through to each of those seeds, it's happening to the rest of your seeds as well. So I found by taking those beans out, sprouting instead of putting them into the hydroponic system, these things are going to be ready to plant in just a couple of weeks or so. And they grow huge weeds. They grow huge. Look at there. See those roots that are coming into there? Now, let me turn it this way so you can see. So on the bottom of this is still some of that paper towel, but it's okay. it's biodegradable. But do use good paper towels when you're doing this. Now, what you've seen, what you're looking at right there, sunflower seeds. Now, this is what the Paquito, Colorado looks like. Isn't that going to be gorgeous? Man, I love that. It's just, I love flowers. And the bees outside, we're beekeepers. They're going to love these flowers as well. And so these are the Monmouth Russian. Now, I'm going to have to tell you, these came up better than anything. As a matter of fact, that's what I've been showing you. Okay, so I still have plenty of the seeds left. Did you know you can actually buy seeds one time and never have to buy seeds ever again? When these sunflowers come up and when they're ready to go away, what you can do is keep the seeds that come out of it, put them in a dry place, make sure they dry out really well. You got more seeds to use later. These are really awesome. And these are the Magic Roundabout. I think they're beautiful. And then one more. And this one is the Ruby Eclipse. Oh, I can't really wait for that one to come up. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a beautiful, beautiful. And I like to find the kind of flowers that bees like. And I need help with lavender. So if any of you know how to grow lavender, I've just not been really successful at it. Okay, now I'm going to be planting more of the lettuce. And let me show you something. Okay, let's see. Let's just take one out because I'm going to make a salad with him. Again, this is using your hydroponics system. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that root. Isn't that amazing? So you have to take them out after so many. When they start getting really big, you really need to take them out. But this is going to make some good salad right here. We're going to have that for supper tonight. That's going to be super good. Okay, now let's go ahead and I'm going to put the camera down again so you can see what I'm doing. Right, here we go. Let's put him up kind of like that. Okay. All right. Now, we use the saran wrap, and you saw what I did earlier. And what we're going to do this time, let's say you don't have saran wrap. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have the clear plastic, none of that. I don't know about using dark, but I'm just saying this works. So this is just an old bag that came out of, I collect them, I save them, and I actually use them for trash bags. And then that way I have a small trash can and my whole kitchen's not going to be all smelly up because I'm waiting on a big one too. That's just my thought about it. I'm not waiting on a big one to get filled up with dirt. That way I'm not wasting anything. All right, so I've already cut on it. See, I've already used it for it in the big bag. So what I'm going to do, let's put this down. Okay, I want some more paper towels. Now, this is the one thing I won't skimp on is paper towels. You've got to have the good ones. So I'm going to get, now these are the smaller sheets. So what I'm going to do is get 4. We're going to plant some peanuts. Okay, using the sprout system. Okay, here we go. Let's put him right there because I'm going to plant a bunch of peanuts this year. My granddad used to plant peanuts here on the farm. Yeah, sure did. All right, let's see. Let's put some in here. There's really nothing you have to do but put these down. Okay, I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Just start out. Let's just see how many we can get in a row. Okay, and you want them, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches apart because I don't want them fighting. They'll fight. You know what? They will definitely fight. And I don't want these things fighting over space. And that's what they'll definitely do. All right, so let's put them just so many inches apart. Okay, here we go. One here. Here. About 1.5 inches or so. Like that. And then I'm going to be using the block system, the cinder block system. That's how I'm going to put these down. And again, look, I'm not having to do anything like I do with the beans. The beans, you want to get that little hardened part out of the beans. Now, I don't need this so full of peanuts. You know what I mean? I don't want it so full of peanuts that, let's put that right there, that they're falling out. Okay, here we go. Put just a few more in. And by the way, save your peanuts for seeds. Yep, absolutely. You can do that. Seeds are valuable, Okay, now what we're going to do is get the spritz bottle. And remember, about 8 ounces of water, and I put just a few drops of this liquid Miracle Grow in there. I like the liquid Miracle Grow for everything. What I like about it, first of all, the hydroponics. If I use anything with a granule, what's going to happen is it's going to clog up my system and possibly mess up the little. See what I'm doing here? I'm spritzing them. Okay, now you need to do this every couple of days. When you get started, you might want to check on it every day for about 3 days. Here we go. Now, right now, they're not fighting over the root coming up. Okay, and again, this is I'm sprouting these. Here we go. So I'm sprouting them. Now, I don't have it where the water falls out, but I have it where it is actually dampened. Let's go ahead and cover that. I'm pressing down just a little bit because I want to see how much moisture I've got. I don't know if you can see this, but here's the moisture content right here. All right, let's spritz it some more. I've already got the bottom saturated. Let's go ahead and saturate this one as well. Okay, here we go. Again, these are my peanuts. I want to make some homemade peanut butter. I've made it before with bought peanuts, but I want to actually raise my own peanuts and see how it happens. And so what you do with your peanuts, you're the one who's in control of the sugar, okay? It's not the manufacturing company. Now, there's some good peanut butter. I like Peter Pan. But I want to be able to control the amount of sugar that goes in this thing. Now what I'm going to do, I've got this. Again, it's plastic. So I'm going to put it like so. See that? Now I want to do my label. Okay, let's go ahead and put the peanuts on here. Now, these are Georgia peanuts. Okay, I'm going to put Georgia peanuts. GA peanuts. I don't know what it is, maybe. All right, and I'm putting today's day. I happen to be recording this on April Fool's Day. All right. I'm going to keep the date on here. This is going to help me to remember. So I keep a journal of all this stuff too. It helps me to remember, okay, let's see, I planted this stuff. And how long did it actually take? All right, let's go ahead and fold this over like so. You have to be a little bit quick at it. I'm going ahead and put my label, maybe right here. I want to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, but I don't want that label to get wet. Put it on this side. Right there. Okay. I'm ready to let some peanuts sprout. Okay. We'll move him over here to the side. And I think we've got time to look at some more beans. Let's look at that. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this out again. As long as you got plastic, it doesn't matter whether it's saran wrap. If you want to keep your saran wrap in, for your whatever, that's fine. I want to do some snow peas. I love snow peas. All right, let's go ahead and get some more paper towels out. Now you need to keep these in a cool, dark place. It's important too. All right, I want some snow peas this year. Now what I'm going to do with all my beans, I'm not going to can them. I'm going to let them stay on the vine. I did this last year and this turned out great. So I let them stay on the vine. And what happened was they dried and several things happened. First of all, I don't think those are big enough to make a difference. We're going to try it and see. So what happened on these things is I let them dry. And then I just had dried beans with them. And Phil really likes them better because they're more, the juice is thicker and he likes that. And if I'm doing bean soup and I want to put some ham in it or some kind of beef or whatever, then that works out. But these are my snow peas. I'm not going to plant a whole bunch of them, but I'm going to plant a few. And again, if you'd like to be on the list, if I wind up with a whole bunch of extra things and I'm going to give away plants, if I've got to mail it, now you've got to pay for the postage. Okay, let's go ahead and spritz. Okay, there are my beans. I've only got a few seconds before we have to leave for the day. Okay, so I'm sprucing them really good. I'm separating them so they don't argue with each other and they don't fight. There's enough division going on in this country. I'm not going to let the beans fight. Okay, here we go. All right. You know what? I've got to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio. We are your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and worldwide and syndicated on Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. We'll have some more shows coming up pretty soon. And I am listening to you. You're the boss of me. So you let me know what kind of shows you would like me to have and air. Thank you so much for watching. You're awesome.